"Randy," she said carefully, "you have barely said a word since breakfast. What's going on?" He didn't answer right away. Instead, he slid a folded document across the table. Hayley frowned and opened it. Within seconds, the color drained from her face. "Where did you get this?" she whispered. "That's what you were worried about," Randy asked coldly. "Not the fact that you lied to me for months?" Hayley's hands trembled slightly as she stared at the document. It was a financial report, one that proved money from the Richardson Foundation had been secretly redirected into an account tied to her name. "You think I stole from them?" she asked. "I don't think," Randy said. "I know." The accusation hung between them like a storm cloud. For Randy, the betrayal cut deeper than anything else. He had defended Hayley when the Richardson family doubted her, when whispers spread around Fairmont Crest that she didn't belong among the city's elite. He stood by her side. And now he had proved that everyone else might have been right. But what Randy didn't say, what he couldn't bring himself to reveal yet, was that this was only the first reason he had turned against her. The second was far more devastating. And across town, inside the sleek glass offices of Richardson Enterprises, and a woman named Leslie Thomas studied the same document Randy had given Hayley. Leslie had always known secrets were the currency of Fairmont Crest, and she had just discovered one worth millions. Hayley Carter wasn't just connected to the missing money. She was connected to a scandal that could destroy the Richardson dynasty. Leslie leaned back in her chair and dialed a number. When the person on the other end answered, she smiled. "It's time," Leslie said softly. "Randy deserves to know the truth about Hayley." And back at the cafe, Hayley tried to steady her breathing. "You don't understand," she said. "That account was never supposed to exist." And Randy laughed bitterly. "That's not exactly the defense you think it is." "I'm serious," she insisted. "Someone get me up." "Of course they did," Randy replied. "That's always your story." The words hit her harder than she expected. For a moment, Hayley saw the man she once loved disappearing behind anger and suspicion. "Why are you doing this?" she asked. "Because I'm tired of being the only one who doesn't see the truth," Randy said. "Everyone warned me about you." "Everyone except you?" "Yeah," he admitted quietly. "That was my mistake." But even as he said the words, Randy felt a knot of doubt tightening in his chest, because the truth was far more complicated than he had admitted. Earlier that morning, before confronting Hayley, Randy had met someone in secret. The meeting took place in the underground parking garage of the Richardson Tower, where cameras rarely worked and questions were rarely asked. Leslie Thomas stood beside her car, her heels echoing against the concrete floor as Randy approached. "You said you had proof," he told her. "I do," Leslie replied calmly. She handed him a file. Inside were records linking Hayley to the missing foundation funds. But at the very back of the folder was something else, something that stopped Randy cold, a hospital record from 25 years ago. Hayley Carter wasn't just an outsider trying to climb into Richardson's world. According to Leslie's documents, Hayley might actually be part of the family. The record suggested that a baby girl born the same night as Olivia Richardson's stillborn daughter had been quietly taken from the hospital under mysterious circumstances. That baby's name was listed as Hayley Carter. Randy had spent the rest of the morning trying to process what it meant. If Leslie's information was true, Hayley might be the long-lost heir to the Richardson fortune. which meant the missing money wasn't just theft, it could be part of a much larger plan. Back at the cafe, Randy watched Hayley carefully. "Tell me something," he said slowly. "What? Have you ever heard the name Olivia Richardson?" Hayley blinked in confusion. "Of course, everyone in this city has." "No," Randy said. "I mean personally." She shook her head. "Why would I?" Randy leaned forward. "Because there is a chance she is your mother." The words hit like an explosion. Hayley stared at him, waiting for him to say he was joking, but Randy's expression never changed. "That's insane," she said. "Is it?" "Yes." "Then explain the hospital record." Hayley felt the room spinning. "My parents raised me in Detroit," she said quietly. "My mom worked 2 jobs. My dad drove trucks. I am not some secret Richardson." "That's what I thought too," Randy admitted, "until I saw the paperwork." For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Outside, the quiet streets of Fairmount Crest looked peaceful, untouched by the chaos unfolding inside the cafe. But inside Hayley's mind, everything was collapsing, because part of her feared Randy might be right. Years ago, shortly before her mother died, she had tried to tell Hayley something important, something about the night she was born. But Hayley had been too angry at the time to listen. Now that moment came rushing back with a terrifying clarity. "Randy," she said slowly, "if what you are saying is true, why would someone hide it?" Randy's voice dropped to a whisper. "Money. The Richardson fortune was worth billions. If Hayley really was Olivia's daughter, she would be entitled to a share that could reshape the entire power structure of Fairmount Crest. And someone clearly didn't want that to happen. But Randy still hadn't revealed the second shocking reason he had turned against her. It wasn't just about money, it was about betrayal. The night before, Randy had been something he couldn't forget. Through the window of a private lounge at the Crestwood Hotel, he had watched Hayley meet with a man named Victor Den. Victor was a corporate strategist known for dismantling powerful families from the inside, and Hayley had been sitting across from him, handing him documents connected to the Richardson Foundation. At least that's what Randy believed he saw. Back in the cafe, Randy stood up. "I wanted to believe you," he said quietly. Hayley looked up at him, panic-crying. "Believe what? That you weren't playing some long game against this family?" "I am not." "Then why were you meeting Victor Den last night?" Her face went pale. "You were spying on me? I was looking for the truth, and you think you found it?" Randy didn't answer. Instead, he turned and walked toward the door. "Randy, wait!" Hayley called. He stopped but didn't look back. "For what it's worth," he said, "I hope I am wrong about you." Then he left. Hayley sat frozen at the table, her mind racing, because Randy had misunderstood everything. Victor Den wasn't her partner. He was the only person helping her uncover the truth. And the missing foundation money? It had been moved to protect it. Someone inside the Richardson empire was secretly draining millions from the charity. Hayley had been trying to stop them, but now the one person she trusted most believed she was the enemy. Across town, Leslie Thomas watched the city skyline from her office window. Her phone buzzed with a message.